Once again, this story gets stranger as it comes. Now, this is coming out of Florida. I know some of you guys are aware of the story and seen some of my fellow YouTubers like Terrain Rain and them reporting this and commentating on the story online. But I want to give you a quick update that I got from my computer, and it was telling me an update about Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, what's going on with him. Now, I'm going to read this. It's coming from the New York Times right here. Let's see if I can find the story and get the book, because my computer is a bit slow and it's kind of old. But here's the story coming from New York Times now. Now I'm going to tell you the guy who written this story so that way I can give you all the information and get all the facts straight. Because this guy is sick in the mind. He was doing a lot of sex crimes going on. He paid $350,000 to possible witnesses against him. That's what the prosecutors have said. Now it says here, Epstein paid $350,000 to possible witnesses against him, prosecutors say. Federal prosecutors had made the allegations in an effort to have bail denied for Mr. Epstein, the financier, facing sex trafficking charges. Wow, this guy's sick. Now, this story is written by Mr. Benjamin Wise of the New York Times. And like I said, the story is based in Florida. Usually, we're getting crazy stories in Florida, as usual, every day, because Florida got a lot of sick-minded people. It's just ridiculous. But I'm going to go ahead and read the story on, because it's a nice little long article. Jeffrey Epstein, the financier, facing sex trafficking charges in New York, tried to influence possible witnesses against him, prosecutors said on Friday, wiring $350,000 to two people who might testify against him at trial. Forgive me because I got a lot of water in my mouth, But Mr. Epstein sent the money to the potential witnesses in late November and early December 2018, shortly after the Miami Herald began publishing an investigative report about a secret deal he had reached with the authorities in Florida to avoid federal prosecution, prosecutors said. The United States Attorney's Office in Manhattan made the new allegations in a court filing asking that Mr. Epstein be denied bail while he awaits trial, saying the payments were evidence that he might try to influence witnesses if he were not detained. The prosecutors have not charged Mr. Epstein in connection with the new allegations, and a spokesman for the United States Attorney's Office declined to comment on that possibility. Mr. Epstein's lawyers maintain the client has lived a law-abiding life for the past 14 years. Yeah, right. Since he pleaded guilty to state prosecution charges in Florida and served 13 months in jail. He has pled not guilty to the new federal indictment in Manhattan. Prosecutors said Mr. Epstein had paid significant amounts of money to influence individuals who are close to him and who might be witnesses against him at a trial, the government's filing said. 2 days after the Herald published its expose, Mr. Epstein wired $100,000 to a person who had been named as a possible co-conspirator in his deal with Florida prosecutors a decade ago. 3 days later, Mr. Epstein sent $250,000 to a person who not only been named as a co-conspirator in the Florida agreement, but was also identified in a New York indictment as an employee who helped Mr. Epstein in a sex trafficking scheme. The payments and their timing, the prosecutors wrote, suggest the defendant was attempting to further influence co-conspirators who might provide information against him in light of the recently emerging allegations. Mr. Epstein, 66, was arrested Saturday when his private jet landed at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey after a flight from Paris. He was charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy in an indictment unsealed on Monday by the office of Geoffrey S. Bierman, the United States Attorney in Manhattan. The indictment said that between 2002 and 2005, Mr. Epstein and his employees paid dozens of underage girls to engage in sex acts with him at his home in Manhattan and Palm Beach, Florida. Mr. Epstein is also accused in the indictment of encouraging some of his victims to recruit other underage girls for him to abuse. Prosecutors said he paid his victim recruiters hundreds of dollars for each girl they brought him. In so doing, Epstein maintained a steady supply of new victims to exploit, the indictment said. On Thursday, Mr. Epstein asked a judge to allow him to remain free on bond as he awaited trial. He pledged to put up $56 million mansion and his private jet as collateral. He also proposed he be allowed to remain under house arrest in the mansion, offering to pay for round-the-clock security guard to ensure he did not flee. He said he would wear an ankle bracelet that monitors his location, surrender his passport, and ground his jet. There you guys go. Just wanted to give you an update on Mr. Jeffrey Epstein doing his sex crimes and the crazy sickness that's going on. He was doing this in New York and definitely in Florida. Florida, we got a lot of this stuff going on. It's nothing new, but I have no problem sharing this story as I go along. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell below if you want to get more videos coming along. And I'll see you in the next one. Bless.